Happy Sunday. This is going to be a short video, so let's get started. The CPI data came out Tuesday, and the CPI raised up to 2.7%, whereas in May it was at 2.3%, in June it was at 2.4%, and now for July it's at 2.7%. A lot of this has to do with the tariffs. The next Fed meeting is July 30th, and I do not see the Fed lowering rates on the July 30th meeting. The next meeting after that is going to be on September 17th, and it all depending on the data that comes out, but I do see the Feds to start lowering rates again on the September 17th meeting. I also see quantitative easing happening, which means there's going to be a lot of money printing going on. A lot of money printing. The next job report comes out on August 19th. The next CPI data comes out on August 12th. Now, besides the interest rates, the jobs report, the CPI data, 30-year mortgage rates, and the 30-year bond yields, what kind of data would you like to see in these videos? Please comment below. The Genius Bill passed this week and signed into law. Genius Bill is the stablecoin bill. Now, what that means is the Fed cannot issue their own stablecoin. Only businesses, banks, so on and so forth can make their own stablecoin, which is, the stablecoin is pegged one-to-one, one asset pegged to another asset. And in this case, a lot of it is going to be pegged to the dollar. The Clarity Bill and anti-CBDC bill passed the House and is currently in the Senate, and I will keep you updated on those two bills. What is a blockchain part 2? It's an immutable ledger. I discussed immutable last week. I'm going to discuss the ledger this week. Basically, a ledger is a ledger. When I first took those online blockchain technology online classes, when they said ledger, I thought of the old country and western movies where you walk in like to a hotel and they got the ledgers out. That's basically what it is. All blockchains are Web 2, which means you can read and you can write. So on a blockchain, you could put documentation on there. You could put pictures on there. You could put videos on there. You could put music on there. Anything digital you could put on there. Bitcoin is different from a lot of other blockchains besides meme coins. Bitcoin does not have smart contracts. Now, what does that mean? You cannot write code on Bitcoin. Smart contracts started to come out with Ethereum. That's why Ethereum is really popular. So you could literally write code and write software on the Ethereum blockchain, and pretty much all the blockchains are pretty much Web3 now, except for meme coins. There's a lot of meme coins out there that are just a blockchain, Web2 blockchain. Bitcoin this week hit 123,000 on July 14th. The global crypto market cap is almost at 4 trillion, and I see it passing the 4 trillion mark this week. One thing I want to add really quick is blockchain technology was first outlined in 1991 by Stuart Haber and Scott Stornetta. Now, Stuart and Scott are advisors on the Kadena blockchain. A couple questions I want to get answered. Bill, I finally got an answer for you on cold wallet updates. Yes. If you own a Ledger, when you plug it in, or a Trezor, when you plug it into your USB port, it will update. You basically got to click on the Ledger Live, the app on your desktop, and it will update. That's the only time it'll update the firmware. Also, a lot of people are buying cards, cold wallet cards. Same thing. In order to update the firmware, you use the wallet apps. Perfect example, I use Zelcore and I use Lynx. Every time I log into Zelcore, it updates. When I log into my Lynx app, when I log into my Lynx app, every so often I will get an update on there. Question number 2 from Steve. Where do you see Bitcoin prices for the year? I try not to get into predictions, but this one I'm going to make an exception because I predicted this back in January, back in the beginning of the year. Towards the end of the year, the fourth quarter, November and December, I see Bitcoin hitting 180,000 to 200,000. Because if you looked at the Bitcoin cycle, a cycle is every 4 years for Bitcoin. If you look at the Bitcoin cycle, every bull run happens a year and a half after the halving. The last year and a half, I said this in my last video, the last Bitcoin halving was April 2024. So I see October, November, December as a huge bull run. Now you say, wait a minute, it has hit all-time highs beginning of January because there's a lot of institutional liquidity pumping in. But once we get to the fourth quarter of this year, you're really going to see the bull run turned on. And like I said, in the fourth quarter, I see 180,000 to 200,000. The first quarter of next year, I see Bitcoin going to 210 to 200,000 in the first quarter. The next couple of videos are going to be, I want to talk about crypto investing. That is very important. I want to do this right. So I want to break it down. I want to teach you the lessons I learned the hard way. So I want to take my time. I want to do this right. And I see it breaking into 2, maybe 3 videos. If there's any comments, please comment below. Thanks for watching. Stay positive. Have a good Sunday. Take care.